20th, 2024 murder of Mr. Ramirez Miranda. We do have members of the victim's family here in attendance today. However, they will not be providing any media interviews after this press conference, and we ask that you please respect their privacy. We will provide Spanish sound bites immediately following the press conference, so just stand by and we'll get those set up for you. And with that, I will turn it over to our mayor, Long Beach Mayor Rex Richardson.
All right, thank you, Allison, for that introduction. Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you all for joining us today as we announce an update into the investigation of Mr. Yenner Ramirez Miranda. I will tell you that murder is a senseless act of gang violence, and violence has absolutely no place here in the city of Long Beach. Mr. Ramirez Miranda was a father, like myself, a husband, and a familiar face to those he served in our community. He was a beloved, hardworking member of our community, and I extend my deepest condolences to the family who are joining us this morning, and to his friends, to his loved ones, and to his community. The City of Long Beach is here to continue to support you in whatever you may need. I firmly believe that everyone has a right to do business and to live in our communities free of gun violence, and especially our most vulnerable businesses, our most vulnerable residents, including our street vendors. I will say that keeping our community safe, particularly our most vulnerable safe, is a top priority of our city. Street vendors like Mr. Ramirez Miranda bring so much life and culture to the tapestry of Long Beach. We have to continue to support them and look out for their safety, as we do for all of Long Beach workers and all of Long Beach residents. And that means supporting our police department, supporting community policing, investing in strategies that prevent violence and advance peace, and ensure that our communities are safe for everyone. As a city, we'll continue to take a multifaceted approach to public safety and look to all the ways that we can continue to disrupt gun violence and gang-related violence in our community. I want to take a moment to thank our police officers who serve our community day in and day out to keep us safe, and the investigators for their outstanding work. Now, I'd like to invite Chief Wally Heavish here to provide updates on the investigation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you all for being here today. Good afternoon. I'm Chief of Police Wally Heavish, H-E-V-E-I-S-H. Excuse me. We're here today to provide you with an update on the murder of Yenner Ramirez Miranda. Mr. Ramirez, as the mayor mentioned, was a beloved member of our Long Beach community. A father and a husband, a man that worked hard as a local street vendor. On March 20th, just after 4 p.m., Mr. Ramirez was working in the area of Eagle Street and Locust Avenue when he was shot by gang members that fired multiple gunshots in his direction. Life-saving efforts were unsuccessful, and Mr. Ramirez died of his injuries. Through our investigation, we quickly learned Mr. Ramirez was not the intended target, and homicide detectives began pursuing leads to determine what happened. It soon became clear that Yenner Ramirez was the victim of an unacceptable, gang-related act of gun violence, and that the suspects involved were believed to be targeting rival gang members. Thanks to the rigorous work of our homicide detectives and many others, I'm able to announce the arrest of 3 of the suspects responsible for the murder of Mr. Ramirez. All 3 of these individuals have criminal histories, are documented gang members, and are prohibited from possessing firearms due to prior convictions. These convictions range from auto theft and carrying concealed weapons to shooting at inhabited dwellings and evading police. The 3 suspects are Raylon Deshawn Akers, a 23-year-old resident of Los Angeles; James Arthur Havlicek Jr., a 33-year-old resident of Lakewood; Rahman Snook Abdullah, a 19-year-old resident of Long Beach. Abdullah and Akers have been booked for murder and are being held on $2 million bail. Havlicek has been booked for murder has been booked as an accessory to murder, and his bail was set at $1 million. Although I'm happy to be able to announce these arrests, we still have work to do. Homicide personnel continues investigating in order to identify and arrest anyone else that might have played a role in this murder. I want to also share that on July 18th, our special investigation detectives, along with members of our SWAT team, served a total of 6 search warrants in the cities of Long Beach, Huntington Beach, Lakewood, and Los Angeles. The July 18th operation resulted in the recovery of 6 firearms, in addition to previously obtaining critical pieces of evidence, such as security footage that has proven to be instrumental in identifying these suspects. Detectives have spent countless hours on this case, and I'm very grateful for their unwavering commitment. I'd also like to thank the Huntington Beach Police Department SWAT team for their assistance on July 18th. I'm very aware that the prevalence of firearms and the number of violent offenders willing to use them has continued to contribute to gun violence in our region. However, I believe these arrests demonstrate that our department will never stop working with and for this community. And to those willing to commit acts of gun violence, whether it's an incident or in the furtherance of gang activity, I can assure you, we have some of the brightest crime analysts, hardworking police officers, and most skilled detectives in the country. And the Long Beach Police Department is determined and focused on holding individuals accountable for their crimes. I'd like to finish by thanking the Ramirez family, Alma and Irving, and again, offering my condolences for their tragic loss. If anyone has any information related to the murder of Mr. Ramirez, please contact homicide detectives or submit an anonymous tip via LA Crime Stoppers. I'll open it up for questions now. Any questions?
Chief, on the search warrants that were served in a number of locations, you say evidence was obtained. Specific, what type of evidence? Was it related to this particular homicide or to various other unsolved gang crimes that might have happened in the Long Beach area?
So the question for Pete is about the evidence that was obtained during the search warrants and any relation to this crime or other crimes. So detectives are still evaluating all of that, Pete. We don't know. That's still ongoing, and while I can't share everything about this case, we will get that information out as soon as they evaluate whether it's connected to this crime or not. Obviously, we still have a prosecution to consider.
Were the warrants done in furtherance of this prosecution, or was it done also as part of generic gang suppression, gunfire suppression?
No, the search warrants were conducted as a result of this murder.
Are police searching for additional suspects, or is it believed that only these 3 were involved?
We have other people identified, but at this point, we don't know if they're suspects or what their role was in this murder. And so that's what homicide detectives are continuing to investigate and determine. But as I mentioned, if anyone else is involved in this, we will identify them and we will arrest them. They'll be held accountable for this tragic loss that this family has suffered.
Any of these people second or third strikers at this point?
I can't speak to whether or not they're second or third strikers, but what I can tell you is that they have convictions for a variety of different crimes associated with carrying a concealed firearm, DUI, evading police, shooting at an inhabited dwelling, but I don't know if they're second or third strikers, although they have had prison sentences.
All of them have done time corrections?
All of them are prohibited possessors based on convictions, correct?
How much of it was intelligence? How much of it was video statements from people, folks who might have taken, phone video of what happened there? What was the balance of the evidence on that which led to these guys?
So I can't give you the exact balance. What I can tell you is this. As I mentioned, we have some of the most skilled homicide detectives in the country. They've done an amazing job at interviewing anybody who was out there, collecting security footage, and I'm not going to share that with you because that security footage is part of this case, but it was critical and instrumental in identifying those that were involved.
So you did recover the weapon that was used?
We don't know that at this time. We're still evaluating the weapons that were recovered to determine whether or not they were used in this murder.
And you believe there's more than just 3?
What's the
Do
question?
you believe there's more than just this 3 that were involved?
I don't know that at this point. That's exactly what I was talking about. Our homicide detectives have identified other people at the location, but we don't know their level of involvement. That's part of the ongoing investigation. And as soon as we do, we'll share that with everybody.
What was the proximity between the shooting and where Mr. Ramirez was standing?
So Mr. Ramirez was in the area of Eagle and Locust, and the shooting took place west of him, approximately about a block away.
1 block away, literally just straight around that far?
Approximately about a block away.
Handgun, rifle round, do we know?
Can't share that at this point, but we'll share that when we're able to do so. Again, my goal is to hold them accountable. Our personnel are going to ensure that everything we do maintains the integrity of this case, and we're able to achieve a successful prosecution along with the district attorney's office.
Which of the suspects was the one that fired the weapon? Do we know that?
Yeah. Abdullah and Akers responsible for firing on this side. The ones that were booked for murder. Anyone else?
We'll do that.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, that concludes the press conference. Like I mentioned, we will have DC Fredo here available for Spanish soundbites. If Spanish media want to stand by, we'll get those facilitated next. Thank you.
Well, can he stand up to the microphone and give us Spanish sound, because we're already mic'd up for it?
No, actually,